Hello, hello, I'm getting hellos from lots of people. Glad people are signing in to watch today's video. I watched AJ's video today as well. Watched AJ earlier. I give his lesson. It was interesting. It was very funny. I like listening to AJ. I hear AJ talk when he speaks normally, when he's speaking quickly. So it's funny to watch him teach English because he sounds a lot like I do when I teach English. And I got asked, how am I doing? I'm having a great day. I'm having a great day. I'm getting a lot done. Getting a lot of work done today, so that's good. It's very good when I get work done. And I went to the dentist earlier today. He worked on my teeth. He cleaned my teeth, and I was scared at first. The dentist can be scary, but it wasn't too bad. They just cleaned my teeth. Nothing too hard. Oh, great. We have a new person today. We have a new student. Hello. I'm glad you're here. We have several new students today. Well, if I have a couple new students, I'm going to introduce myself. My name's Philip Norris. I am AJ Hoag's cousin. And AJ and I are creating we created a new course called AMMPEnglish. And AMMPEnglish will be ready soon, in a few months, but in the time being, I'm teaching English. I teach idioms and I teach vocabulary words. And there's my YouTube channel. It's called Philip B. Norris. You can look it up online and see past lessons. Got lots of lessons. I will do stuff on college campus and talk about college, university. I'll be talking about how to be successful after college, how to be successful in your career, and just how to be successful in life. It's a lot of fun for me. I really enjoy talking to everyone. I really enjoy teaching lessons. Thank you for the compliment. You and AJ are so awesome. That's great to hear. That makes me feel good. I've got a Captain America picture right here. That's my favorite superhero. Right there is Captain America. He carries the shield. He's in a lot of movies. It's our picture. So, now that we've waited a little while, how about we start today's lesson? I'm sorry to hear that. I got a comment. I remain jobless. Hopefully we can help you get a job in the future, or I can help you at least give some advice for applying for jobs. AJ is technically jobless because he doesn't work a real job, so I don't know if you're saying you just don't have a job or you're an entrepreneur, but hopefully we can help you. So, let's start today's TOEFL word lesson. Today's TOEFL word lesson. And the word today is eloquent. Eloquent. And eloquent is spelled E-L-O-Q-U-E-N-T. Eloquent. So again, E-L-O-Q-U-E-N-T. Eloquent. This is a great word. If you want to sound intelligent, use this word in speech. I promise you will sound very intelligent if you use this. And it's an easy word to use, eloquent. So is anyone familiar with this word? Does anyone know this word? I'll wait a little bit, let everybody say anything. And thank you for the hearts. I love the hearts. Oh, obviously we don't know. Some people don't know this. This is great. So eloquent. And this means to be persuasive and moving, especially in speech. So to be very persuasive in speech. This means also, I've got some synonyms or similar words. To be skillful with words. To be very skillful with words. And also to be expressive, to be forceful, to be passionate, to be powerful or touching with speech. So it's a very useful word. It's a very useful word. We hope after you finish the course that you will speak eloquently. That you will be very eloquent in your speech. That you will be powerful and persuasive with your speech, your English speech, and your English speaking. I hope after listening to these lessons, you will be very eloquent in your speech. Speak very eloquently. So, I've got a couple examples, good sentences. But first, if you want to think of a great speaker who is very eloquent, a great example is Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr., the famous rights activist who died during the 60s, the 1960s. He's a very good and very eloquent speaker. He's very powerful. He's very passionate. So if you look up on YouTube, go to YouTube and type in Martin Luther King Jr., you can hear him speak. And yes, someone beat me to it. Tony Robbins is also another great speaker who is very eloquent with his speech. He's very forceful, very powerful, very energetic, very persuasive. This is another great example. A lot of politicians are this way, not all of them. I wouldn't say all politicians, but some are very eloquent with their speech. There's plenty of great examples who are very powerful and very good with their speech. And thank you. Someone said me as well. That's great to hear. I would hope I am eloquent, or I speak eloquently. So, I have sentences for you, good sentence examples that we could use. So my first one is the eloquent politician is easy to understand. So someone who speaks eloquently is very easy to understand. They speak very fluently, speak very confidently. This is very powerful. My second example. John is an eloquent storyteller who paints a picture with his words. So in this sentence, to paint a picture with your words, to paint a picture, means to speak so powerfully, speak so vividly, and give so many characteristics in your speech that you can almost imagine it. To paint a picture means to speak so well and describe something so well that you can imagine it. You can picture it in your head. This is an idiom, to paint a picture with your words. This is powerful. So again, I'll say this example. John is an eloquent storyteller who paints a picture with words. This means that he can speak so well that when he speaks to people and tells stories, the people who are listening can imagine the story, can picture the story. This is very good. This is very powerful. And then my last sentence is, the speech was eloquent and moving. To be moving means it made you feel very passionate and feel very good. So eloquent means to be forceful or powerful, expressive. So this is very useful to be an eloquent speaker. Your goal is to be an eloquent speaker. So that is the word for this week, eloquent. So again, it's spelled E-L-O-Q-U-E-N-T, eloquent. So use this in the future. Compliment someone. Say you speak very eloquently, or you are an eloquent speaker. If they speak well, tell them this. You can tell AJ this. This will be funny. Message AJ tomorrow when you listen to him and tell him he is an eloquent speaker. This is a homework assignment for you. And AJ will be very impressed. He'll be very impressed that you know this word, and he will feel great compliments too. So this is the word for today. So do I have any questions for today, for today's word? Any curious questions? Feel free to take your time and use this word. Use this word. It's very powerful. So if you hear someone speak that speaks well, say they speak very eloquently. So do I have any questions for today? And thank you for the hearts. While we're waiting for questions, I want to say that really quickly, we have a question. Can we use idioms in academic writing? You can, but you have to use it properly. If you don't use it properly, it would cause a lot of confusion. So my advice is to stay away from using idioms until you're very good with using idioms in your writing. I use them sometimes, but it's to be kind of sarcastic or to make a joke, but it's a very tasteful joke, which means it makes sense with the essay. It sounds very intelligent, and it's used very intelligently. So be careful when you use it. I was asked, do I live in San Francisco? Actually, I live in Chicago most of the year. I live in Chicago. I wish I lived in San Francisco because it's very warm, but I live in Chicago because I go to school in Chicago. And I live in Indiana during the summer. This is probably my last summer in Indiana. My mom is giving me a hard time. So do I have any other questions for today? So while people are typing, I wanted to say, so AJ has his Heart Brigade. He has his team, his Effortless English Heart Brigade. And I came up, if you've seen Alice in Wonderland, like I talked about yesterday, there is a heart guard or a card guard in Alice in Wonderland who protect the Queen of Hearts. So I want to create the Heart Guard. This is a great big team of people, Heart Guard. So we need a leader for the Heart Guard. And I know I talked about it yesterday, so please, if you are interested, there's not a lot of pressure, but message me if you're interested in being a leader of the Heart Guard for my team on Twitter, and I would be happy to make you the leader of the Heart Guard. And all you have to do is really be enthusiastic and energized and get people to join the team and want to create all these hearts and press all these hearts and get me to the top. Get our Effortless English group, or AJ's already up there, but get the AMMPEnglish group high up there too. We want to be high up there so that we can be in the most loved list, which is awesome. So I got the question, how old am I? I am 22, but I'm almost 23. I turn 23 soon. So right around graduation. And yes, the one who leads, that's a good point, should have an iPhone. Sadly, the Droid kind of has issues with pressing hearts. I don't know why, but it does with the app. So that would be more useful. I'm sorry to create that, but it's a good example. I think that AJ had the same problem with having someone to lead because the Droid has some issues. I have an iPhone, but I also had a Droid at one point as well. But we want to, my goal is to be at 1 million. I want to be at 1 million in 2 weeks. We are about halfway there. I want to get really high up. I know, it isn't fair. It isn't fair. Oh, you heard they fixed the problem. Possibly they fixed the problem for putting hearts on your Droid. Does anybody have a Droid that can press hearts? I'm curious. Okay, I was asked also, please tell me the meaning of eloquent again. Again, it means to be persuasive and moving with speech. To speak eloquently means to be expressive or skillful with words, to be forceful or passionate or powerful with words. So good examples are Martin Luther King Jr. or Tony Robbins. There are many people. Politicians are great. The Dalai Lama. Powerful leaders are very eloquent with their speech. AJ is a good example. AJ is very powerful with his speech. I hope I'm like AJ one day. If anyone is a fan of Star Wars, do I have any Star Wars fans? Any Star Wars fans? People who like Star Wars. Cool, I'm getting yes. So if you've seen Star Wars, I joke with AJ all the time. I say AJ is like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I am Luke Skywalker. So AJ is training me to be to be a great Jedi of English one day, a great leader in English one day. So I always joke with him. So I joke, I give him a hard time. I always say, I am your Padawan, which means I am learning underneath him, and he is my Jedi master. Oh, that's a good question. So I think what you meant was, what does keep your pants on mean? The idiom, keep your pants on. That's actually funny. That's a funny, I've used this before. And it's when someone's in a hurry and they're rushing you. They're saying, let's get this done. Let's do this, get this done. You just say, keep your pants on, which means to relax a little bit, chill for a little bit. I think I know where the phrase comes from, but I'm not going to make any assumptions. But yes, it means just slow down, relax a little bit. So if someone's rushing you, say, keep your pants on. That means to relax. Don't say this to anyone. Don't say this to your boss, or don't say this to your parents, because they might get mad at you. But you can say this to your friends. It's funny to say to your friends.